Hello and welcome back to Rogue Trader. Last time we did Hinrix's companion quest and we still need to speak with him to see what he feels about it and how he feels things went. I'm imagining not good. I'm imagining he wants to speak to the Lord Inquisitor pretty urgently about what happened, but we'll find out in due time. After that, we're going to have to figure out what we're doing next. Probably a new companion quest, but we might do some wandering around. But before that, we're actually going to talk about the Heavy Bolter. Now, this is something that we have for Argenta. We're also going to level up after we do this, but we'll talk about the Heavy Bolter first. Now, Argenta currently is using the Heavy Stubber, or the Calibrated Heavy Stubber I should say, and is also using a Precise Bolter. The suggestion that's been made is that the Heavy Bolter may outperform the Calibrated Heavy Stubber, because I didn't take into account a thing that Argenta has. So, what thing didn't I take into account? Well, the thing I didn't take into account is that she is also a bolt weapon expert. This gives her 10% additional armor penetration with bolt weapons. So, what does this mean in real terms? Well, if we go and have a look at this here, you will see that we currently have the Precise Bolter. The Precise Bolter is 15% armor pen. This would actually go up to 25% armor pen, so it's a pretty big increase. Same with the Heavy Bolter. This would go from 20% to 30%. So, this would indicate that if the enemy has 30% armor or more, the Heavy Bolter will be doing 30% more damage, right? That just makes sense, because the armor penetration is removing 30% of that armor. Okay, so that's the basic premise that we're working with. So, how does it work out mathematically? Well, here's essentially what we're looking at here. The Heavy Bolter has 30% more damage on any enemy that has more than 30% armor. If they have less than 30% armor, it gets worse and worse and worse, as 0% armor is doing 0% extra damage, right? So, against low armored enemies, our calculations have stayed the same. The Heavy Stubber is still going to outperform, at least as far as I can tell, in terms of rate of fire over time. So, what we're looking at mostly is at high armor value enemies. That's really the bit which is going to be different between the two weapons. So just how much faster does the Calibrated Heavy Stubber fire? What is the difference? Well, if we look at the rapid fire amount, which is 26 versus 18, so you double it for rapid fire, the percentage change between them is 44%. So the Calibrated Stubber fires 44% more than the Heavy Bolter. So, in theory, it is dealing, just from the bonus damage, not including the base damage, which is obviously slightly different, but just from the bonus damage we'll be dealing 44% more, like just the flat damage per rate of fire. So, to me, I think the Calibrated Heavy Stubber will still do more damage against a higher enemy because more shots are going to hit that higher enemy. The point where that doesn't become true is where not every shot hits. If shots don't hit the enemy, then the Heavy Bolter is also going to outperform, because on a smaller number of shots, that rate of fire bonus isn't as big. So basically, it depends on whether we're going to hit all of those shots. If we hit all of the shots, then our calculations make sense. The Heavy Stubber is better. If you hit less shots, it really depends if you're hitting less between the Stubber and the Bolter or all sorts of other things. So, it's kind of an interesting question. It'd be nice if I had a save next to a large enemy and we could actually try out this in a real scenario, but I still think the Stubber might be better. But I'm going to keep the Heavy Bolter around just in case, right? There might be a reason for it. Really, what I'm expecting the game to give us at some point, which will make this a much easier calculation, is like the better Heavy Bolter, or Heavy Bolter Plus. That, I suspect, if you increase the base damage just a little bit more, the armor pen just a little bit more, will basically make the Heavy Bolter even better, right? And I think that will put it clearly into its own category. I think the Heavy Stubber is slightly better right now. It's all kind of like in this kind of weird bit where, because her numbers change every single time she attacks, things are not stationary, so it's hard to get an exact DPS number. It'd be kind of nice if there was almost like a target dummy that you could just try DPS against, but yeah. Anyway, I guess you're not meant to think about it that much, and you're probably meant to go, yeah, this feels better, and go with that. Anyway, it's time to do level ups, so let's have a little look at Ulfar first. We'll just do it along the line. Ulfar. Available characteristic. He's kind of in the same place as Abelard, where I think we just take toughness, because toughness will raise his strength. So there's no reason not to take toughness. Although it doesn't raise it at the same rate, it still seems like the most sensible thing to take, just in general. So, toughness, and then we have to take one of these. In here, what's Rack and Ruin? After the soldier deals damage to 3 different enemies, the soldier gains a bunch more damage for their next attack in the current combat. Okay. Fired up. Whenever they deal damage, their critical damage is increased by 1% until the end of combat. And that's whenever they deal damage. Yes, this is the same thing we have on Argenta, and it accounts for burst. So yeah, I think fired up is better. I think this is going to be fantastic. Let's go with that. Earliet. I think it's perception we take on you. Yeah, it's perception, and then we take uncanny sight. The operative inflicts an exploit even on enemies which are out of the operative's line of sight at the start of turn. That seems quite nice. Perfect spot gives you armor pen against enemies that are far away. While the operative's perception bonus is 10 or higher, they gain 1 AP and ignore enemies' deflection. Now, it's not going to be that much higher all the time, but if we had someone like Cassia along, we would very easily get above that number. I think that we take... I think we take sniper expertise here. I think that being able to ignore 13% of an enemy's armor against enemies that are 7 cells or further away sounds good. So I'm going to take that. Let's go with that. Jai. I think it's Fellowship we're going to put points into here. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I guess you could put them into Agility, but Fellowship seems like the safest one. So let's go Fellowship. And then we're going to take points in, what's Personal Oversight? Whenever the officer targets an ally with an action, the ally's resolve is increased by 1 until the officer's next turn. Okay, Focus is the one that gives you the bonus whenever you use an ability on an ally as well. That one's quite nice. Blood of Martyrs. Whenever an ally uses a heroic act, they gain temporary wounds equal to 10% of their maximum wounds plus resolve. I like this one. I do like the buff. That's a Fellowship buff, right? Yeah, it's a Fellowship buff. Personal Oversight is quite nice as well. Yeah, just to keep stacking up resolve. But yeah, let's take Focus. I think that's a very sensible thing to take. Pascal. Pascal, he is taking Intelligence because he has things that scale off of Intelligence. He's very like us in that, in that way. Then, are his things at the top? I think they might be. Yeah. Operative's allies gain a bonus to hit chance and critical hit chance when attacking targets affected by exploits. This seems pretty good. I would like it if that stacked with us. I don't know if it will though. We never use Intimidation despite it being very good for us to potentially use. Yeah, I think we take Joint Offensive and hope that it works. Yeah, we'll see. Right, and then Argenta. Argenta is going to take a point in Agility, because I quite like her being able to dodge. Agility isn't necessarily the best stat for her. Something like Ballistic Skill could be better, Perception could be better because it allows her to ignore enemies' dodge and other such things, but I think Agility is fine. I think her dodging is quite nice. I think it's a useful thing to have. Means that we can put her in dangerous situations. The soldier's second attack action in a turn deals 5 plus 2 times Agi bonus % more damage to enemies that have not suffered damage from the soldier this turn. So 5 plus 2 times Agi bonus, that's going to be 21% more damage. So if we think about how we do a usual turn, it's fire, burst fire, so this would be the burst fire attack. That's quite nice. Yeah. I think that 21% more damage on your burst fire is nice. The first hit of each burst attack deals additional damage equal to the weapon's current rate of fire. Now, given that we're using the heavy stubber right now, that's 26 extra damage. We should probably use that. Dash does not end the soldier's movement for the turn. Enemies adjacent to the starting point of dash will consider the soldier the lowest priority. Interesting. I think muzzle velocity sounds really good. If we're going high rate of fire, this just seems like that's going to really perform quite well for a single shot. Especially as, after we switch to the heavy stubber, we will be getting auto crits and we'll be doing the max possible damage. So we'll do the max damage on the stubber, plus we'll get the current rate of fire, plus it will crit. This seems incredible. Yeah. Okay. And then that's everyone leveled up. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Right, let's do a quick save and we'll head through to we'll head through to the other room here. So, all the way over to the voidship bridge. And we'll have a little speak to Hinrix. So, how are you doing, Hinrix?
Lord Captain, I thank you for your assistance with my mission. Thanks to rogue trader von Valancius, the Inquisition has stopped the enemies of humanity, even those hiding in its own ranks on this occasion. I will no longer be making any claim on your time or resources.
Hinrix's face is frozen in an impenetrable mask as if you were looking at a stone statue, not a living man. So he's definitely hiding his feelings from us. Everything Emelina said about Calcazar, should we be concerned about it?
It is dangerous information, but you are already too deeply involved. In the Inquisition, there are two main philosophies: Puritanism and radicalism. The adherents of the former are conservatives who strive to follow the letter of inquisitorial doctrine in all matters. The radicals are more pragmatic. They believe that the end often justifies the means, and they use tools that a Puritan would condemn as heretical. Emelina used the powers of chaos to gain the upper hand against Xenos. I touched a cogitator built by cultists to learn its secrets. None of us is pure. Xavier. The craven-hearted say that the career of every Inquisitor ends in either death or heresy. The Lord Inquisitor has borne this burden longer than any of us. It would be naive to think that he had only ever used Puritan methods, and even more naive to suggest that such methods have in any way weakened his loyalty to the God Emperor. And that is all I will say on the subject.
Okay, that sounded pretty final. I don't think one is true, but I want him to tell us it's not true. You killed your colleague in cold blood.
Does that surprise you? It shouldn't.
Hinrix looks at you without blinking. Despite his icy tone, the spasms arcing across his face reveal his true state.
This is not the first time, or the last, I fear, that I will cause the death of someone close to me. There have always been reasons for it. Sometimes the reasons are dictated by duty, sometimes by my own personal volition.
What are you going to do now that this is done?
I will remain part of your retinue. That will not change. I will continue to accompany you until I receive orders to the contrary from the Lord Inquisitor, if ever. Who knows? Perhaps one day my journey will end like Emelina's, but that day is not today.
Okay, I was just scrolling past the get rid of everybody in my crew options, and we'll take her leave. We gained some experience for that. I feel like that's not over, but we'll have to leave it for now. Okay. Well, I don't know what quest we're doing next, but let's go to the map and let's just explore as we would. If we find a companion quest, we'll do a companion quest. So this is now done, so we can now leave here entirely and move on to our next location, wherever that's going to be. So, oh, and chart new routes. Any new routes? No new routes, but at least that gives us navigator insight, which is useful to have, because we haven't had a lot of that. I think we want to head all the way back down here. I can't remember. So we went along to... We went along here, then we came up. We went to Telecos Epsilon, and then we went from Telecos Epsilon to Mundus Valancius. So, What I think we need to do now is we need to head back down here to maybe Omicron and work our way up that side of things. Maybe to Crossroads of 100 Dreams and back down. I think something like that could work. Or Celio Prophecy would seem like our next thing then. Probably. So, let's work our way along. This, in theory, should only be an orange route, although it didn't seem that way last time. So we took 9 damage. A warp breach. This time trouble came straight to the bridge. Malodorous mist teeming with swaying nightmarish figures have rolled through the ventilation shafts into the command center. The officers are suffocating from this wave of corruption. There's no time to deliberate, to battle. Okay, sure. We don't need to take this squad necessarily because it's going to be another one where we can't actually use our psychic powers. So let's maybe go you. And actually, let's take who we're going to take to Cassia's mission. So, Cassia's mission. We're definitely taking Abelard. We maybe take Hinrix, but maybe not. We're probably going to take... Well, we're going to take Cassia. And then beyond... Well, maybe we'll take Hinrix, just because I'm trying to figure out people to take to this mission. Maybe Adira would be okay for it, though. I don't think we need Erliet. I don't think we need Marazai. So I don't think we need Ulfar. So that kind of leaves us with a limited group. So that leaves us with 7 and we need to reduce it to 5. Pascal we could take, but I don't think he has anything to add to this situation. So this now leaves us Hinrix, Adira, Cassia, Argenta, Jai. Abelard, I forgot. So let's go Abelard, Hinrix, Argenta... Maybe we take out Hinrix and we go... Jai, Adira, Cassia. Something like that. Yeah, something crazy. Let's do that. Sure. We'll see how this works for us. This, I think, might be our one for the next thing that we go into. It's a different team, which I think is something really cool for us. We haven't used these guys in a while properly. What are we facing here? Mutant crew members, some rotten ones. Okay, so just some plague bearers. This isn't going to be trouble at all. Right, so we're kind of looking to go down here, I guess, at the start of our turn. Cassia. Or maybe we want to stay in the center, actually, so we can do more electricity stuff in the center. So we'll stay in the center. We'll probably put Abelard on... Well, he can stay kind of center-ish here. So he can go up there. We'll stick Argenta kind of here for now. We'll stick Jai along a side. Stick Cassia along a side. And then Adira can chill probably here with the thought of going there next on her turn. Alright. Wonderful. Let's do that. That seems fine. Right. So let's start with frontline, which is going to be right there. We're then going to do a back line. Going to be those two for now. Rear is going to be directly on top of Argenta. Right. Then we're going to make... Oh, then we're going to do one of these to remove stacks, which will increase our damage. Okay. We will then use Kill Zone on this one. Just working out how many things we still need. We'll do a joint analysis. Okay. Let's run up here. That still allows me to shoot into this area. Perfect. That's what I was after. I'm going to run up here. We're going to put some stacks on the Rotten Heavy at the back. And then we're going to shoot them all. So let's do something a little bit like this. They dodged anyway. I was thinking actually I didn't use my surefire plan, but it doesn't matter because they dodged at the back there. Cool. Right. Plague Bearer moves forward. one of ours is dead. Oh, and they're converting them into mutant ones at the same time. I understand. Okay, so that's where the difficulty on this mission is meant to happen. Okay. Actually, stay where you are, Argenta. I was going to move her, but then I realized that we need her in the rear area to do more... yeah, to do more damage. So, shoot. Oh, let's do this first. So, gains momentum. Shoot.
That is for the weak.
Burst.
This is unacceptable.
Oh, run and gun. Burst. Nice. Oh, I actually hit him. What's their armor, by the way? Their armor is 40%. So in theory, this is a situation where the other one would do more. We'll switch. We're then going to Wildfire. Yeah, Wildfire. We're then going to Rapid Fire. We're then going to... So this is free, right? Yeah, this is free. Controlled
Faith
shot.
without deeds is worthless.
And devastating attack. Oh, and
I'll do it.
we'll also apply a cautious attack, confident approach as well. Oh, the game did not like me clicking that button. Alright, then we're going to fire down here. Go.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment. Eradicate. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Yeah, I think I'm happy with it. I think I'm pretty happy with that weapon. I think it does what I need it to do. It just wiped out a huge line of people. Yeah, so how much damage is that? So that is... oh, we uses and deals 15 damage to Plague Bearer? What does that even mean? We uses and deals. Okay. So yeah, it did 41 damage on some of those hits. It did 14, but I believe when it says 14, yeah, that's usually because of overpenetration. So each time it hits, it's actually going up by 1 damage. Is that right? No, it's just happened to be up by 1 damage this time. So it did 35. In theory, it should do the same damage to the Plague Bearers every single time it hits, right? So what was the damage here? So, because we're doing max damage, right? So confident approach means that we always deal max damage. So that's that one there. Let's open another. Oh, it overrides it. You can't open 2. Yeah, so the damage roll was 35, base damage of 20 plus 15, I'm guessing. Yeah, base damage of... Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, and then it doesn't calculate in the rest of it. And then if we check this one, this is damage of 40, base damage of 20. Where's the base damage? So base damage is 20 in both cases. No, so the base damage stayed the same. It wasn't increasing in damage because of that. Was it critical damage that's different? So it's 24 there. This is 23. Ah, it's because crit is because each point of damage, or each time we crit, or sorry, each time we hit, fired up increases our critical damage, and that's what's causing the difference. Okay, yeah. I think I'm pretty happy with the current weapon. It definitely overkills, which does put in an argument for using the heavy one, because if it overkills, then you can probably reduce the number of shots, but anyway. Also means the first hit should have done... Let me just double check that the first... how much the first hit did. Because it should have done a lot more, right? So... this is fine. That's them attacking. So what was this? What was this hit? So... that was a single shot with the... so that's a single shot with the precise bolter that did 57 damage. Okay. Then... what was this with? So that was impact damage done through something. That was the... more there. I'm trying to figure out when our first shot was with this heavy... fired 5 of 5 shots. Okay, so it would be... this is our first hit. So we did 39 damage on the first hit. And then each hit afterwards should be slightly less. No, it did 40. So 39 damage. Is that with the extra damage from muzzle velocity? Muzzle velocity increased it by 5. Oh, that's because that was our... So was that our burst? Ah, so this is our burst with the precise one. Okay, so that should be 1, 2, 4, 5. Then in here, there should be our second shot. There we go. Wildfire, rapid fire, confident approach, 26. Yeah, so our first one did 121 impact damage. There we go, because of 26 muzzle velocity. And then we got all of our multipliers for critical damage. Yeah, okay, I'm happy enough with this. Now, can I switch her weapon? I just want to see how much this deals. You cannot change equipment in combat. Ah. Oh well. I guess we should switch our weapon and see how much it deals. But, I think that seemed good. Okay. Let's figure out what we're doing here. Yeah, you know what I think we're just going to do? We're going to use Inspire on Argenta. We're going to give her a little bit of extra stats. Then going to use Move, Move, Move.
Don't get too cocky.
This gives her a turn to move down here.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
That's fine. Now, I'm going to give her another turn.
Paid for this?
Revel in Slaughter. How much does this cost? This is 2 right now. Alright, shoot.
Doubt is for the weak. I'll do
Run
it.
and gun. Up here. Up here. Fire.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Perfect. So how much damage was that? So that was 160 damage to the on our second hit. And that is because base damage is 42. Calm and Steady has 21. What's Calm and Steady? Is that the one that's Calm and Steady? I think we've looked at this before. So this is one that she has. I'm just double checking what this actually is. Oh, that's just the versatility bonus. I see. So 160 damage, which then the critical damage is because the critical damage has gone up so quickly. We're fired up, I think. Plus Revel and Slaughter increasing it even further. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's just a huge amount of bonuses, and she was inspired, and yeah. Okay. I think I'm just gonna stick with what we got until it doesn't work, for now. But yeah, I think there is an argument that the heavy bolter could increase our damage slightly. Right, you stay there now. Why don't you give her another turn?
I hold all the cards.
Okay, get over here. Followed by dashing.
I'll do it.
That's fine. Now we're going to Revel and Slaughter.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Wonderful. Run and gun. That now lets you move up here. Fire.
I'll do it.
Oh, we missed the one behind. Oh. Fire.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Okay. Wildfire. Then shoot him.
I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Yeah. Seems solid. Wait, we still got enemies? Oh, yeah, we got those two in there. I completely missed them. Yep. Well, okay. Well, you know what? Why don't you first of all use this? Oh, that wasn't your turn? Oh, when is your turn? Your turn is now, I think. Why don't you give her another turn?
I'll show you why navigators are feared.
Okay.
The
Get in
enemies
here.
of the Emperor will be undone.
Revel and
As
Slaughter.
the Emperor commands, I act.
Run and gun. In here, shoot.
I'll do it.
And
That is not the
shoot.
Emperor's will. Each strike is a prayer.
Wonderful. Alright, that works for me. How do we leave here? We leave out the end. Which end? This end? Nope, other end. Okay. That's fine. This team at least seems like it works. Except that we need to change where everyone is located. So you're actually more of a front person now. You're more of a front person now. Like, not melee, but like front. So I guess you're kind of like here. You're going to be there. And then we're going to have these two at the back. Something like this. Maybe this is more the team we're looking at here. Sure. We're a little spread out, but that works for me. Right, Koronus Expanse map is how we're going to... Wait, it didn't let us pick up the loot. No. Oh well, whatever. We lost like one box. Voidship management. Let's repair it. And then... I keep working away along here. Yes, we've done this before. We choose the top option, we get some experience. Okay, we go to Mundus Valancius. Wait, that changed some of these red routes to orange routes. Wait a second, those were red before, right? Or were they always orange? They might always have been orange. I might be going crazy. There's an event in Foulstone. Okay. Yeah, let's just grab all these while we're here. So, we need to go back to Foulstone anyway, which is Trinitas, right? So let's head back this way. Then we're going to head to Trinitas. In the middle of our warp jumper, sensors detected an approaching a void ship similar to ours in size, but of greater tonnage. The unidentified vessel did not respond to our hails and kept its course, approaching us at high speed. Try to avoid it. The unplanned maneuver was completed without any casualties or damage. The unidentified vessel, or perhaps it was a warp mirage, passed us by and made no attempts to follow us. Okay, I just felt that shooting at an unidentified thing just sounds like a bad idea. Like, it could be a friend. Let's not shoot at it. You know. Just seems like a good thing to do. Generally. Right, let's head over here from darkness. Well, that's not good given that the quest that we just did was about mandrakes appearing from darkness to attack us, but let's see what this says. Oh, we got more of that. Okay. A ship bearing refugees from Winterscale's domain arrives in orbit. The survivors claim that their son was stolen. Ooh, more of that. Provide the refugees with shelter, provide them with supplies, or capture the ship and kill the refugees. I'll provide them with shelter. That's fine. We're happy to let them in. We're not worried about that at all. Right. But interesting that there's another stolen son thing. Okay, but we know that that was caused by the Drukhari. Oh, have we? We've never been to this place, have we? No, this must be a new system. Interesting. Okay, so we do have some new systems. Do we have any other new systems? Because I know we have this one that we went to and never did anything with. No, so that is just a new system. Huh. Anyway, let's head to Omicron next, which has an event. Yeah, so that was just one that we've already had. Let's go in. So, Omicron. What is the event? Is it in the Savannah world? I think it might be. So we have the artificial object over here, and then we have Eye of the Magnetic Storm here. Let's do it. Offering up prayers to the machine god, the augur operators turned their blessed optics towards the very epicenter of the raging magnetic storm. In spite of the thick haze of static covering the augur's picked visor, something unexpected appeared. The augur crew have detected signs of life under the planet's surface. There, in the caves, is a man-made complex. According to the ship's archives, this world is uninhabited and devoid of useful resources, so the presence of someone's base seems intriguing. Send a team to explore. The enforcers disembarked next to the suspicious cave. The entrance to the cave turned out to be blocked by a massive plasteel door. once pierced by a melter charge, then shoddily patched up. Within, an ambush awaited your team. Attackers with emaciated bodies pounced from the darkness without warning. The enforcers of the von Valancius dynasty reacted with lightning speed. They walked away from the vicious battle, not only victorious, but having captured the enemy commander. While the shuttle brought the prisoner aboard the Lord Captain's voidship, scouts searched the base and found a vast hall, the walls of which were dotted with Cryo-Vaults. All but one were disabled and contained the remains of some prominent people, judging by their clothes. The last Cryo-Vault was opened and stood empty. Oh, we got some stuff. In addition, a curious machine was destroyed during the battle. As further inspection would show, this was the very contraption responsible for creating the magnetic storms blanketing the planet, concealing the cemetery from prying eyes. Its machine spirit extinguished forever, the tech priest still managed to extract those parts that still held value. Examine the Cryo-Vaults. The tech priests sent at your command have reported that the machine spirits of all the Cryo-Vaults are healthy and obedient, excepting the one living within the open sarcophagus. This machine spirit is in terrible condition and affected by great madness muddying its algorithms. Interrogate the prisoner. Despite the brutal torture and various persuasive mind-altering solutions administered into the prisoner's bloodstream by a wise tech priest, the bastard maintained his arrogant silence and perished before a single word escaped his lips. That's it. Alright, here's where we do a quick save and we reload the previous quick save and we go, well, I really want to know what's going on there. Why is their coercion so low? Why was it Cassia doing it? I thought Jai had a higher coercion. No, it's 117. It's not low, but... Huh. Interesting. Anyway. I want to know what happened. So we're going to reload it. Coercion. I guess that's something that we need more points in. Okay. It's useful to know. Do we have anything that can give coercion? Coercion. It's going to be something that goes in one of these slots, right? Yeah, maybe. Seeing what we got here. Can I type in coercion? Yeah, 10 logic, coercion, and persuasion. Bonus to coercion. Bonus to coercion. And then this one is bonus to coercion and lower Xenos. Fellowship and commerce. Do I need fellowship and commerce? Well, fellowship I guess is nice, yeah. I guess we want to put one of these on. So let's get rid of commerce and lower Imperium for logic, coercion, and persuasion. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's better. Right. Let's go. Savannah World. Continue. Send the team. Examine. Interrogate. So this is now a 72% chance. Under torture, the bastard confessed to belonging to the cult of St. Drusus. He and his brothers and sisters were tasked with guarding the strange cemetery and preventing anyone from entering. He equally could not hide that the unfortunate inhabitants of the Cryo-Vaults were killed by his people. Alas, that was his last confession as the harsh interrogation finally took its toll. So what did that actually give us? It gave us an entry into our rumors table, right? Yeah. So we encountered a number of followers of St. Drusus on an uninhabited planet. They were guarding a covert underground facility ready to kill intruders without mercy. In the depths of the facility, the rogue trader discovered Cryo-Vaults containing dead bodies. Okay, so there's got to be something happening at some point with that. That's what I wanted to find out. And is this the Hulk that we are not going to go to again? Oh, it's something else. All usual noises on the bridge cease when the shadow of a gigantic void ship seemingly appearing out of nowhere sails past the stained glass windows. It seems forlorn, its hull is tarnished, the lumens are dead, the windows are broken and shrouded. The Augur crew can't recognize the signature of its silent engines. They only manage to shed some light on its decrepit hull and make out the faded name of the cruiser, Queen's Lament. The Voxmaster report breaks the somber silence. You've just received a Voxcast from the dead void ship. Accept the signal. Vigdis conducts a full Vox system check and reports that the communications are in order. even though only eerily unnatural silence can be heard through the Vox. Worried murmurs sweep across the bridge. The officers are certain you've encountered the voidship of the old ghost stories. Queen's Lament has appeared countless times in all corners of the Imperium. Like a ghost, it manifests out of nowhere and just as mysteriously vanishes in the darkness of space, taking with it those who dare to board. Queen's Lament, you've heard that name before. This voidship was destroyed by Xenos in one of the violent battles for the Expanse over 3 millennia ago. They say its captain was a devout and vengeful man. Let's send scouts aboard. The shuttle carrying the soldiers docks with the Queen's Lament without impediment. Using the disparate blueprints of other Imperial cruisers, the scouting party sets out to the bridge, following the dark, unpowered corridors that somehow retain oxygen and gravity. The nervous voice of the operator erupts through the Vox. The crew are still on board, but what's this? Blurry silhouettes of people with torn off limbs, cut open bellies and twisted faces are materializing and vanishing all around in ghastly flashes. The ghosts promise the unwelcome guest that they will stay on board the Queen's Lament forever. Raising his voice to a shout, the operator reports that his comrades are already dead, and soon it will be his turn. The augurs are telling you a different story. All of the scouts are alive and still moving forward. So, we can order the operator pull himself together. The soldiers must be prepared to face even the most terrifying space horrors. Coerce the operator, he'll be severely punished if he does not pull himself together. Or calm the officer down, he was probably scared by the strange visions and lost sight of his comrades. Well, we'll do logic. An anxious prayer to the Emperor is whispered over the Vox. For a moment the operator falls silent, then suddenly returns, mumbling excuses about his imagination playing tricks on him. His comrades are still walking ahead of him, alive and well, and the voidship looks completely empty again. After a few minutes of silence, a child's cry can be heard through the Vox. The stuttering operator reports that friends and family of the members of the scouting party are blocking the way. The friends and family who've all been taken by death. The soldiers confirm that they're not seeing ghosts but living people made of flesh and bone. The soldiers are begging the rogue trader to let them talk to their loved ones for a moment. Okay. I'm going to remind the soldiers it's impossible to cheat death. These visions must be the product of some dark powers. The scouts begin to argue. The unintelligible quarreling abruptly stops, and after a few minutes the operator anxiously gives his report. As soon as the squad split up, the ones who decided to stay with their loved ones were swallowed by the darkness of the empty deck, and vanished. Half an hour later, the Vox comes to life once again. The operator flatly reports that the scouting party has reached the bridge. The cogitators are broken, so extracting any data from them seems impossible. The scouts have found a strange object in the captain's chair. They can't describe it, only saying that this shouldn't be there. In his usual flat voice, devoid of emotion, the operator completes his report. The way to the bridge took 16 hours and 41 minutes. The soldiers are exhausted and would like to rest for some time. Confused, Victus notes that only half an hour has passed outside the Queen's Lament. Order the squad to retrieve the unknown object and withdraw immediately. The Voxcast stops abruptly, and a few minutes later the scouting party shuttle leaves the Queen's Lament. The voidship itself dissolves into the darkness of space. The shuttle arrives carrying a single passenger, the operator clutching a strange parcel. The young man's hair is turned white after the time spent on the cursed vessel, and he has lost the ability to speak. His story and rumours of what happened to the other scouts will live on for many years in hushed whispers across every deck of your voidship. Well, what did I get? What thing did we get? Newest to oldest? Unholy relics. This amulet grants the wearer a plus 20 bonus to coercion and a minus 5 penalty to intelligence. Huh. Interesting. Okay, well, that was weird. That was very weird. Need to repair a ship slightly. So let's repair that here. Let's now head back out of this bit and make our way towards Arcelio's prophecy. Sure. So now we're heading up to System Speculo, which has the Augur's Anomaly on it. Okay. Let's go. Let's see what's in here. Do a quick save. And let's have a look at the Augur's Anomaly on the jungle world. So we've already got these resources, right? No, we haven't actually got these resources. Oh, I should extractium them. Let's do that then. Wonderful. Let's head over to the rocky world as well and do the same thing here. Okay, we're down to a lower number of these things. We should probably start rationing, but that's okay. We also don't have any use for them. Let's have a look at this. So have we already been to the Augur's Anomaly before? Is this the, this might be the dark world, or the world that had the, like, dark thing at the side? Yeah, let's go with this. Yes, the bottomless pit. Okay, we have been here before. Okay, I just didn't remember it was called Augur's Anomaly. That's fine then. I'm assuming there's no purpose, no reason to come back to somewhere you've already been. Yeah, it doesn't look like there is. Okay, well, let's head back then. If there's no reason to be there, let's not worry about it. Let's just simply leave and head towards the next place. So we're back up here, leave this one, and to Orselio's Prophecy. The enemies of humanity have been spotted on board. Warp beasts have enthralled the crew in charge of one of the macro cannons and massacres those who resisted the heresy. The Lord Captain is their only hope. Okay. Let's go. We will personally go and face these foes. Yeah, I'm happy. Oh no, I should have changed. I can still change it. If that was a quick save. Or a whatever save. I can change your equipment. We can finally test something. I can test it now, actually. Perfect. I can change equipment. It's not going to be a perfect test, but there we go. Let's treat this exactly the same as it was before and see how this goes. Cultists of Khorne. So it is a different fight, but that's okay. Bloodletter at the end there. Argenta.
I woke up with a feeling of wonder.
Actually, let's not use her.
Your heresy ends
There we go.
here.
She gets to go second anyway. Right, so, start the battle. Actually, we need to move people, I forgot. You're gonna go, like, here for the start. We're gonna move you to, probably here, actually. So, no, you're gonna go here to start. We'll move you to here. That's fine. We're gonna have Abelard go there. We'll have Idira here. Cassia here. Jai here. And we will go, like, to this place right there. Wonderful. Let's go. So, front line. That's going to be here.
I won't compromise my principles.
No line of sight, huh? Well. That's going to be front line.
It's as good as done.
Although that will increase damage on the enemies, right? Yeah. Okay, that's fine, though. We're going to have backline be here.
On it.
We're going to have rear be there.
Who if not me?
Wonderful. We'll move our way back to backline. This is fine. I'm going to increase the... Actually, I don't need to do any of this. Let's go for joint analysis.
I don't need luck. I have strategy.
Okay. Put some stacks
I'll
on the
see to it
bloodletter here.
personally.
I want to do this. Oh. I want to do this to take a bunch of stacks
Let's
off.
make some opportunities.
Right, background here. I'm going to use Perfect Spot to
make it
increase our
happen.
cover efficiency.
It's
Surefire
as
Plan
good
to
as
increase
done.
our damage, and I'm going to take a shot at the Cultists of Khorne down
I'll
here.
make it happen.
We missed. Wonderful. Okay, Argenta, move up here.
Rejoice in battle.
Raise momentum, which goes up a huge amount because it's within an area around her. I'm going to do shot.
Faith without deeds is worthless. Eradicate it. I refuse.
Run and gun.
I'll do it. This
Burst.
is unacceptable.
Burst.
Doubt is for the weak. Each strike is a
Okay.
prey.
That's fine. Switch weapon. Confident
As the
approach.
Emperor commands, I act.
Rapid fire. We need to wildfire. We're going to use devastating attack. Wildfire. And let's see. Let's see what the damage is like. Yeah, there we go.
Faith without deeds is worthless. This eradicated.
Okay, how are we looking here? So we can find the first one here. So 18 shots, 5 hits, 13 misses. So the first one did 112 damage. That is less, which is what you would expect, because the first hit uses the... uses muzzle velocity, so we're expecting the damage to be less. Then each hit after that is like... so that's 26 damage. Over penetration... That's the 34 damage from the over penetration hit. That's 67. 67. Now, let me just double check if this is reasonable. What's the base damage? Base damage is 25 on these. Yeah, so the base damage is higher. So each hit is doing 20. So if it's doing 67 compared to the 40 that was previously being done. So, we're talking 67 versus 40. Now, is that because... Well, rear is increasing it, but might be increasing it by 26%. She was in rear for the... Well, no, she wasn't for the burst fire on the previous one, was she? No, she was. She was for the burst fire on the previous one. She was also in the rear area. So, how much is 67 over 40? Well, luckily I still have the same web page that I used for the previous calculation, so I can just get it to calculate it for me. So 40 to 67, that is a 67.5% increase. Does that sound correct to you? That might be correct. I could maybe believe that. So that is more than the rate of fire increase. So this does do more damage. I think. If I've got this calculation right, this does more damage. Because our rate of fire is only a 44% increase if we're using that as our thing, and this has armor pen. Now, over a long enough fight, the heavy stubber will come out ahead, just due to the base damage going up over a longer fight. But if a fight is only going to last like 2 turns, then this is going to outperform. Okay, well, that makes sense. Right, firearm mastery.
In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave.
Shoot.
I'll do it.
Oh, this thing's back here?
Each
Oh.
strike is a prey.
Okay. Shoot.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Also looks like the over-penetration damage is higher, which is one of the things that's
None
swaying
can
me here.
escape the
Now,
Emperor's
why does the
judgment.
over-penetration damage matter? Well, when you shoot somebody with a weapon, that weapon can deal damage to the one behind them, right? So, if you're doing more damage if your over-penetration hits, that means that the rate of fire difference isn't as big because your second hit from the over-penetration is doing more damage. Therefore, your effective number of enemies hit per shot is higher, or at least or has a higher damage. So I think that's maybe something I'm missing. Like, if you're shooting into a group of people, if you're only doing damage to the first one, I mean, that's fine. But if you're doing damage to the first one and second one, you've got a significant increase in damage. Maybe is over-penetration affected by armor pen? I actually don't know, but that would make sense if it was, based upon the name. So maybe that's the reason for it. Yeah, can I see you? I can.
I'll do
Perfect.
This is why I was chosen.
Okay. Well,
As the
I've been
Emperor
convinced.
commands,
The
I
heavy
act.
bolter is better. I think. I think they're both incredibly good right now for her.
I'll do it.
I'll be honest, I think that she's probably going to kill anything we
Doubt is for the
interact
weak.
with anyway. But, you know.
As the Emperor commands,
It's nice to have the better one on.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty solid. Let's grab the loot.
Is
Okay.
there money to be made?
Grab the loot up here as well.
The Emperor sets my path.
There we go. How's our stuff looking? That's fine. I just need to find the way out of here.
I always
Okay,
keep my
where
options
is the
open.
way out? Is it just back at the start? Is it back this way? Yeah, it's back this way. Perfect. Right. No problem. Hey, the random fights we had actually helped us calculate something. So it's the heavy stubber that isn't good enough, apparently. Who could have saw that coming? Well, obviously, the person who commented was correct and saw it coming. But anyway, yeah, I think it's the extra damage that's going through is what's swaying me here. Yeah, I guess the only way that this would outperform is if you get a high enough base value. Yeah. Okay, well, it was worth testing anyway. So, with that though, I'm going to end the episode there. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.